Despite recent polling showing Americans are not happy with the economy, this holiday weekend could see a record number of shoppers, whether it's online or in person. Our CNN chief data analyst, Harry Enten, is here to run the numbers for us. Hi, Harry.
Hey there, Jessica. Happy weekend to you. Of course, this is a holiday weekend. We had Thanksgiving on Thursday. We had Black Friday yesterday. We're going to have Cyber Monday coming up in just 2 days. And so this is a big season for shopping. Of course, the start of the holiday shopping season, and we're expecting record numbers this weekend. What are we talking about? Record shoppers this weekend between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Woo! 187 million Americans either shopping online or in person. I must admit, I am not necessarily one to be shopping in person. I like to avoid the crowds. That's what I like to do. That's why I'm a much bigger fan of Cyber Monday than I am of Black Friday. I prefer to spend my weekends at home or maybe going to a nice little luncheonette. But this 187 million is 3 million more than we had last year. Again, record numbers shopping this weekend. Of course, it's not all good news when it comes to the economy, Jessica, because we're in a bit of a K-shape, right? Whereby the top of the economic spectrum seems to be going along as if everything is normal, nice, fantastic, while those on the lower rung facing tougher times. And we see that when it comes to shopping this holiday season. Expected holiday shopping in terms of money versus 2024 by household income. You can see that this is a real economic divide in terms of how much folks are expecting to spend this year versus last year when it comes to shopping during the holiday season. If you make less than $50,000 in your household income, the expected amount to be spent down 16% versus a year ago. You jump to the middle rung, 50 to 100,000. Again, down, but by less. Down 6%. Look at those making at least $100,000 in terms of their household income. It's actually up. It's up about 5%, or at least the expected amount, versus last year. Again, illustrative of this K-shaped economy whereby the wealthier folks are spending as if nothing is wrong, spending as if times are good, while those on the lower rung of the economic spectrum not seeing the good times nearly as much. In fact, seeing some bad times in a number of cases. Of course, this is not the only sign that the economy is perhaps not as strong as some might necessarily want. Of course, this holiday season, if you're going to be buying something, you might be putting it on your credit card. And we're seeing some potentially troubling numbers when it comes to that credit card debt. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at credit card balance that's 90 days or more late. 90 days or more late. We're talking about the highest percentage since the Great Recession. You know, you go back to Q3 of 2022, 3 years ago, 7.6% of all credit card balances were 90 days or more late in terms of their payment. You jump over now, look at this. This percentage has really climbed in Q3 of 2025, which of course is last quarter. We're talking about 12.4%. That is a significant rise, Jessica. I think the question is, will this percentage become worse during the holiday season? We've obviously seen that those who earn less are cutting back on their spending, expecting to cut back on their spending. Of course, there are plenty of wealthier people who also have big credit card debts as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But this, to me, is a troublesome sign. Folks spending money that they simply put do not have, and we're seeing it at a higher percentage since the Great Recession. Hopefully, we'll have some better news on the economy going forward. But for now, Jessica Dean, this is all I got for you.
And 'tis the season for holiday shopping. Americans say they're nervous about the economy, particularly about higher prices in a weak job market. But many retail experts are forecasting hearty sales growth. MasterCard pegs the spending growth at about 3.6% for the year. Joining us now, Heather Herzog, retail and consumer spending expert at our own firm, H Squared. Heather, great to have you. Thanks for being here with us. So what do you think so far about what we're seeing for this holiday shopping season?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. This is going to be one of those major holiday shopping seasons. I'm going to break it down for you. As of now, we're looking at Black Friday numbers of almost $12 billion. That's up 9.1%. This is from Adobe Analytics. And also the spending online and in-store was up about 4%. Now, I was tracking some of the real-time statistics coming out of the Afterpay Cash App ecosystem. This is run by Block, and per neighborhood. So New York was doing about 54 million, Miami 20 million, Los Angeles was 20 million, and Chicago was 24 million. And it also broke it down in neighborhoods. My little neighborhood here on the Upper West Side did almost $1 million for Black Friday. Food and beverage up 5.8%, which kind of shows that people aren't just spending on clothing and objects. They're also going out to eat and buying those gift cards. And also apparel retail was up 4%, according to this Afterpay Block ecosystem. So it's pretty interesting that spending is really there. People are certainly going out in droves, but we can't ignore the fact that this economy is bifurcated. That K-shaped economy, that larger spender, that one that the high earner is the one that's really kind of spending and putting that on the credit card, or the lower income earner are taking more specific steps to spend. They're being a little bit more careful.
And so is that how you explain kind of this dichotomy between all these polls we get back where people say they're really nervous, they're really pessimistic about the economy, and then these spending numbers that we're seeing that you're just listing?
Absolutely. So I was looking at, I know I'm throwing a lot of statistics at you, but I was looking at a report from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, right? It said that a lot of the consumer spending is being driven by higher income earners putting things on their credit card. They are really price agnostic. I've been saying this a lot, but it doesn't matter if the price of strawberries go up or price of a handbag goes up. It doesn't matter to them. Meanwhile, the lower income spenders, they are the ones that are price sensitive. So when we see that spending, that drive in spending, it's from that upper part of the K, that higher income earner that's putting it on the credit card, and then they are paying off that credit card each month. The lower income spender that's putting it on credit cards, they're the ones that have to be careful, because if they are not paying that off every single month, those interest rates are going to bite them.
Yeah. And then what about inflation? How is that factoring into any of this?
Well, again, looking at the K-shaped economy, right? The higher income earners not really that sensitive to inflation, but the lower income earner is, absolutely. And then we were talking about the credit card. It all kind of comes around, right? So if the lower income earner is putting things on credit cards because they want to have a Merry Christmas, right? We're a society that likes to shop and likes to celebrate. If they are not paying that off every month, and if those inflation rates either stay the same or potentially rise, that's what's really going to hurt them in the long run. Right. And that's where it starts to get a little iffy for them.
Yeah. And so for people out there who are preparing to shop, are there any trends, anything they should be aware of, like good notes as they are shopping for the holiday season?
Well, there's a way to go ahead and track your prices. So, everyone wants to get a discount, but there's a thing called price dynamism, price dynamics, right? So when that means basically promotions change, prices change. But one way as a consumer that they can fight back, or we can fight back, is getting a plugin into your browser. There are little plugins, hilarious names, but one is called Camel. The other one is called PayPal Honey, and the other one is called Keepa. And they can go ahead and track the prices and offer coupons so that if there's a specific price you want to pay on a product, it can tell you, well, the price is dropping, or it's increasing, or buy now, or wait a bit. So that's one way. And of course, agentic AI. People are really leaning hard on agentic AI. Amazon has Rufus that's helping people keep more organized. And I think between those two, you can keep organized and also keep on top of the pricing.
Some good tips. All right, Heather Herzog, thanks so much. We appreciate it.